AI is evolving fast. Are you ready? Meet AI at FlytBase, your weekly hub to learn, upskill, and stay ahead in AI world. Let's dive into today's session.
Welcome everyone in another AI in action session. So let's just start with an AI news. So first news is of course of the Claude bot, which is now renamed as a Molt bot because of the trademark issue. So it's an open source AI agent which is recently released and people are going crazy about it. So think of it as a Claude with the hands that lives in your own machine instead of a browser. So what it does is it connects with the apps, all of your apps which is present in your computer like WhatsApp, Telegram, Discord, Slack, and others, and acts like a 24/7 personal AI assistant that can actually do things like check email, send message, manage calendars, control the browser, and even run the scripts in your system. And as it is open source and self-hosted, data remains inside your system, so it also solves the data privacy problem as well. Now the second news is from the Kimi K2.5. So it's an AI that is really good at building softwares from both text and pictures. Like you can show it a screenshot of an app or a dashboard and tell it what you want, and it can create, write, and fix the code for you. The cool part, it doesn't work like one big slow brain. It creates a team of a small AI helpers just like a sub agents which works parallelly and test and clean it up. So that makes the big messy jobs much faster and much reliable than a single chatbot that you copy paste code in all daily. And the next news is from Google itself. So Chrome is getting Gemini built in the browser itself. So it can allow the browser to fill the stubs, even edit the image directly on the page. So you can say that the Google is stepping into the agentic browser game, just like the other browsers which we already have, Comet, Atlas, and Dia as well. So what it does is that there is a new Gemini side panel where you can ask it to do multiple tasks like research something, compare, fill out the form, manage subscription, or even go on a site and help you buy something. And they've named it by Auto Browser. And if we talk about the creative side, they also have the Nano Banana inbuilt there. So just in case you are buying a furniture for your home, so if you are searching it on the Amazon or Flipkart, so on the sidebar you can open the Gemini and ask him and give him the photo of your home, of the space where you want that furniture to be, and ask him to just add that furniture in your home space, and it will add directly inside your browser so you can see how it will look inside your home. So it makes much better. So yeah, it's also stepping into the agentic browser game just like a Perplexity did with the Comet and OpenAI did with the Atlas. Now the other news is from the Manus. So Manus have added a feature called as a skill. So any great chat you have, you can turn it into a reusable expert that you or your team can call it again and again. So for example, you have a chat related to the startup mentor, or you have coach related mentor, you had a chat related to it. So you can save that as a skill with one click, and next time instead of re-explaining it from the scratch, you can just pick that skill and manage behave it like an expert from a first message itself. And they also had a library of skills which you can import from the community, so you get a ready-made expert for a specific topic or a usage or something like that. Last but not the least, we again have the Claude. So now you can interact with the apps inside Claude. So what I mean by that, so you can pull up the app like Slack, Asana, Figma, Canva, and more without changing the tab. So if you ask them to turn an idea in the Figma into a diagram, so Claude will open the app in sidebar. You can make the changes inside the Claude itself, and it will show the result in the real time. Like you can review, tweak itself, and send or save or just do whatever thing without switching the tabs itself. So that was all about the AI news. Now again, I'll just tell you, like, if you haven't joined our WhatsApp community, you can just scan this QR and join in. And I'll not take more of your time and straight away give the mic, or you can say a stage, to Mahesh and start with the today's session. So hi Mahesh, how are you?
Hey, hi guys, I'm good. I'm Mahesh. So I work as a senior software engineer at FlytBase, and For the today's session, that is, I hope you guys have read the title. So it's Scale AI Without Breaking Your Repos, and it will be an interesting discussion as well as the workflows that we use at FlytBase and how it's helping us to like move at that 10x developer velocity without breaking agents across. So let me give a minute. I'll pull up my screen. So the first question to all of you, like I'll take it in a bit of an interactive way. You can use a chat to like put in answers, so I'll be able to convey them. So like how do you run a multiple agents in a single repository? Like I'm assuming that all of us now use some sort of an agent, coding agent, like some of maybe the fan of Cursor, Cloud Code, Copilot, or anything that you like as an open source coders as well. So of course, like now we are very much familiar with using a single chat agent, but the work is way more increasing, and as the agent speeds are increasing, we want it to be parallelized. So my first question to the audience is like, even if you are using or tried out something like running multiple agent in a single repository, I'm talking about like doing tasks. So I'm talking in terms of a Git. So let's say your project has a single Git repository, and now you want to run multiple agent on different tasks, or let's say you have a meta task and it has been a small features, and now you want to run them in parallel. So how do you do it? So you can use a chat, or even if you want to speak, you can like unmute yourself and go ahead. Okay, only one. Fine. Does this means other audience aren't using a multiple agents, or are we stuck still on a single chat? Is that the case? Okay, fine. I'll consider that we are still in a single chat, and hope you guys are here to like learn, and by the end of the session you will get some insights how you can run multiple agents and like improve your speed of shipping features. So great. So let's move. So basically there are like more of a standard ways to do this, and I have listed some of them. So basically what is more popular today is like Cursor has their own Cursor agents that you can run parallelly. So I'll get the like a main idea behind how you run a parallel agents inside a single repo. So basically you have a single Git repository, you make some changes, they are in a Git worktree. So and if you want to run multiple agents in parallel, then of course they want some sort of an isolated environment. And by default Git has a feature called worktrees, which all of us know as a SDE, software developers. And now Git worktrees are becoming more and more famous to run an agents in an isolation environment. So if you have read like recent Reddit posts from Cursor, and even for Cloud Codes, some of the people has posted that their Git tree has like exhausted almost more than 200 GB of their disk spaces. So that means they are running those many agents in parallel. So Git worktree is the base idea. Okay, I thought my screen got, I'll reshare it. It's fine. So the basic idea is behind is Git tree, and all the platforms that are being built to run parallel agent are using Git tree under the hood. So there are Cursor agent, there are Cloud Code, you running in multiple terminals with multiple Git trees, managing by yourself. Like you can like put a command actually to create a work tree, and then you manage multiple terminals. This is something which is kind of a standard that people are using it. What I'll be sharing is a bit of a different, and I'll get to that why as well. So let's move to the next slide. So there are some problems in this workflows. Like even if you had tried this, what I said are the standard things that are available in the industry. So the major problem start is like as a human, we have some sort of a mental bandwidth. And now let's say you have 4 agents working in 4 terminals. How you will manage that? Like you have to manage that as they are working on a independent feature within a single repo with their Git trees, you need to track what work they are doing. You need to interact with them. You need to put instruction that sometimes it happens like you are working in a single repo with 2 chats, then how they will interact with each other's code. They should not mess up with each other code, then it's not a useful to run them in parallel. Reviewing their work is a major challenge. Like how you will, like if you have 4 terminals running 4 agents, then you have to open 4 IDEs to check their work, what actually code has been edited, because in a production level environment you can't go like a whiteboard, like agent is giving and you are just putting shift tab, like you are blindly accepting. That's something which won't work in an enterprise environment, so you'll need to review the code that is being written. So these are like a lot of problems that you face if you do it via manual workflows. So and to solve this problem, people are coming with an innovative idea. So and the solutions are basically multi-agent, multi-workspace IDEs. So till now, like as in software developers, we are quite familiar with VS Code, which is kind of an sort of a foundation, like a WhatsApp for software developers, I would like to correlate. And there are other IDEs as well. So like how VS Code work is a single repository, single person working on top of it. So now when you enter into a multi-agent things, now you need multi-agent, you need different instances of a single repository, and you need all the IDE features, like you can search file, you can view Git, you can check changes, you can track PR, and a lot of things that a typical software developer does in today's era as well. So the solution is multi-agent, multi-workspace IDs, and in the market there are a bit of popular things and products that have come up. I'll walk you through them very quickly. So Conductor Coder is one of them, Superset is one of them, and Wipe Kanban is also one of them. So I'll show a quick landing pages, so if you want to later you can go and check it them as well. So this is Conductor. We'll go to detail. Then this is one that I was talking about, you doing manually, you creating command center of terminals and you are running and managing by yourself. That was a big of mess, so we'll delete it. Then there is a Superset and there is a Wipe Kanban. So these all three are based upon the same fundamental idea that multi-agent, multi-workspace IDs, they are managing a lot of stuff behind the scenes. So as a user, it's like for you, it's like managing multiple chats, but behind the scene, they are managing multiple repositories, tracking everything and providing you the ID experience. So for today's session, so as in FlytBase, we have almost explored all of those such products that exist in the market, and the product that works best for us and that's fitting in our workflow is Conductor Coder. So why Conductor Coder? I'll get to that. So let's go into the Conductor Coder itself. So I'll be able to better explain you why it's a better multi-agent, multi-workspace IDE. So I hope you should be able to see my Conductor. Let me minimize this. If you guys are having any questions, by the way, you can keep dropping to the chat session. We'll take it at the end. Oops. Okay, fine. So this is my minimized view of Conductor. So as I said, multi-agent, multi-workspace. So the first multi-workspace. So if you see, I'll give a quick overview, then we'll go to my workflow of how I use a Conductor. So if you see the workspaces, the concept of workspaces is you add a repositories. So you have different repositories, of course, working in an enterprise, you will have different repositories, different teams using them. Now each repository, as I said, needs to run different agents in parallel. So they have different Git worktrees. So whenever you it's like you open a new workspace and that behind the scenes pins up a Git worktree, create branches, manages all the stuff that you don't need to do. And once you go inside a particular, let's say I'll choose one. Cool. So whenever you enter into a particular workspace, now you have, if you see in the between, you have a chat window. And as one thing I forgot to mention why Conductor is way more better is now you have, so the why Conductor is way more better than the other tools basically is for all of us, like we have some sort of an enterprise subscription for a different sort of coding agents, and sometimes we are a fan of some type of coding agents. Like as a FlytBase, we use Cloud Code a lot, Cursor a lot, and now as well as Codex. Then we have subscriptions for them, and we don't want to switch to a product where we need to buy new subscriptions or do stuff or lose the power that Cloud Code gives. And the Conductor does like that very seamlessly. It integrates your Cloud Code, Codex, and existing subscriptions. Like behind the scene, it's running Cloud Code, but you see all the things, all the results in terms of UI. So in chat, you can just click a plus, and it's a separate chat where you can choose Cloud Code model or Codex, how you do it in Cursor, but it's running behind the scene Cloud Code, Codex. It don't have a Cursor inbuilt support yet. They are working on top of it, but for us, I'll get to how we use it in Cursor as well. So you have chat window. Then as I said, this is something like many products provide. Why Conductor goes on top of them. So if you see on the right hand side, you see a files view. So for a particular repository and Git worktree you are working upon, you need a whole file tree to be there. And for that to view, you need to open an IDE, but in Conductor you don't need to. You see all the files here. You can open any file that you want, just pressing Command P, and let's say we'll go to use internal controller, and you can see a whole file here, how you used to view inside VS Code, the similar fashion. Now the other thing comes is the git changes. Like agent is going to make a lot of changes, and now how you will be able to review those changes. So you can just go to the changes tab, see all the changes. You can comment here directly how you comment on a PR, and this will be added to the chat by default. So you don't need to do much things. You can go to checks. In checks, it like tracks your to-dos as well. It tracks the git statuses. I'll show you one of them so you'll be able to understand better. Then from here directly you can press a review button. It spins up a separate agent to review all the changes that are in the current work tree, and you can set a whole template. There are a lot of settings inside you can go. You can create PR directly from here, don't need to leave the conductor. And the most useful part is we need a terminal. And if you have ever worked with the git work trees, opening them in multiple tabs, remembering their like which git work tree is open in which terminal, where I'm running agent, that is a headache that you don't need to take. Like whichever chat workspace you are in, the terminal is there. Like similarly how it works in VS Code, a more advanced version of it. You can put setup script, you can put run script, so that whenever you add a new workspace, everything is set for you. Like for us, dependency installation is one of the process. So whenever I click plus, so basically as I did a plus, now it created another git work tree. It gives a by default name, and it's like spinning and doing everything, running my setup script so that this will get set up. So I'll show you. It's running basically all the npm scripts and the other script that our repo has. So this is a high level overview of how conductor works. Now if you have seen, like we got all the features that a normal IDE provides us with a like ability to run multiple agents in multiple workspaces. And the example, and if you can see on my left panel, you'll be able to see right now I'm working in 2 repo heavily. The other ones are fine, they are like less work that I done, but in 2 repos I'm working on parallel features. Like in today itself I was coding. So if you go to this, this has been in the PR, and it's going in the review process as well. So you will see all the checks of the GitHub pipelines and everything, what has been passed, what is there, what to-dos are remaining, everything from a conductor. You won't need to leave the conductor until it's very necessary. And if you want to go to the IDE, then conductor has it. So you can open it into any favorite IDE that you have installed. So you can just go to open, choose it, and it will open into that IDE in a second. So this is kind of a conductor that has like built on top of a lot of IDE features that to run, and we tried a lot of different IDEs, and with the experience I'm telling you this is one of the best that we had. Now let's get to a workflow that I execute with conductor so that we are getting this sort of a more output, more developer velocities. So as I said, like there is a limitation that they don't have cursor yet inbuilt, so you can't run cursor agent directly. Either you can run through UI, but we don't want it to leave conductor. So we figured out as cursor has its own CLI. So what we do is we spin up CLI inside terminal, and we have Cloud Code and Codex working in the chat. So how my general workflow look like, I'll take you in few minutes from it. Just let me spin up the chat that. Okay, fine. I'll pick this one. Right now the cursor agent hasn't been run. I killed it. But I'll give you the gist. So this is one of the repository where I was doing some like our DB related optimizations. So I have done all the brainstorming with Claude, Sonnet 4.5, sometime Opus, switching the model in a whole chat here. It behind the scene using Cloud Code, so you will get all the features, skills, agents, and everything, your plugins, a lot of things that Cloud Code offers. Once brainstorming is done here, then I prepare like detailed plans. And if you guys have ever used Composer from the Cursor, which is one of the fastest execution model that we have seen, and it executes like without missing thing if it has a clear plan. So, and we use that heavily a lot for executing things. So once you have a detailed plan, what to do, how to do, and what to not mess up, and then a Composer goes like crazy, like it executes within few minutes. If you have, I would like to try because once you try, you will understand the speed difference between the Cloud Code and the Cursor's Composer model. It's a way difference, but yeah, there are some cons, like you need a good plan, everything brainstorm already. This is how we generally work, and we work in parallel work trees. So I give tasks in this work tree, then I move to, let's say, other repository or other chat, and then I give tasks there, and it goes on, and I will be able to track all the development related things directly from conductor. So this is all about conductor at FlytBase that we use, and they are being improving. Like every day they ship some new features, and that is a great. Like they are growing and they're helping us as a developers to grow. So I would like you guys to give it a try, and we'll be definitely loving it. So yeah, that's all about today's session. Explaining how at FlytBase we are like using multi-agent, multi-workspace IDs, and how is our experience till now after trying a lot of things. So yeah, we can go ahead with the questions if you guys have or any thoughts on this topic or any exploration that you guys have did.
Okay, so hi Mahesh, we do have some more questions coming in the chat. So though Sharvasiddhas has already answered, but still you can give your views on it itself. Saurav has asked that have you tried anti-gravity? It is a feature called Agent Manager which looks similar to this tool.
Yes, we tried anti-gravity, even cursor agents as well, and the thing that I told you, like they pins up similar Git worktrees behind the scene and work on a chat level basis. But as a developer, when you are working, the feel that you get when you work on IDE, because you need a lot of things at once. Like even if the agent is coding, once it has been done coding, then you need to review the changes. You'll need some sort of a Git diff to review the changes, add a comments. You need a terminal for that chat. Now the limitation that comes up, like the similar happens with the cloud agents as well. Whenever you run something on a cloud as an agent thread, you lose these IDE features as a developer you want, and that's where the conductor or tools similar like shines. So this is what like our experience with anti-gravity, even with cursor, and you'll get a lot of cloud runners as well. Like people right now are providing solutions. You can run cloud agents as well, and the same goes out there as well.
So another question is also from the Deepak. So have you faced performance or disk space issues with any concurrent Git worktrees, and how do you mitigate them?
Yes, we did like previously before we like explored conductor. We personally I was running Git worktrees by myself and managing them, and yes, it takes up the space because every project has to install some dependencies and do the stuff. You run multiple commands. The leftover is been once you finish your working in that Git tree, the branches, the changes, the dependencies still remain there, and that was a manual hustle for us to go and clear them to save the space. And even once you are running multiple things at parallel, how like if you open 4 IDs for four work trees, now they are consuming your RAM. And yes, we had that. But once we tried conductor, somehow they had managed it to run very optimized way. So even if I run like 4 or 5 agents in multiple work trees at parallel, like my conductor memory usage stays below 2 GB. And previously when I was running the similar amount of agent through my own Git trees and opening in different IDs, it was exceeding more than 8 or 9 GBs in RAM. So yeah, definitely they did a better work while building the conductor. Similarly, like if you have a reference of Z is a sort of an IDE similar to like VS Code, but it's a lightning performance IDE because they had built it like a scratch from the Rust. So it's very different than VS Code, and something sort of might have done in by conductor. They haven't reviewed their stack, but yeah, with conductor we are not facing that issue. So you can try it out, check how it goes for you.
Yeah, next question is from Arav. How do you formally define agent responsibilities, boundaries to avoid emergent behavior where agent oversteps or duplicate the work?
Yes, so for this we have done some step from our side itself. So as I said, like let's take an example where we have a meta task to build a big feature, and it has small features to be built in. So what we do is basically we create a detailed plan of high level feature and every feature what has to be done, so that they stay independent. Like if in the case where you have a single component in the front end and you want 2 features to be integrated into that component and 2 agents working simultaneously, will definitely cause like mess up in the same code base. So that we make sure whatever feature the parallel agents are getting, they are enough independent that even if you merge PRs later, they are still like relevant. They are not replacing each other's code. So this is something which we ensure to avoid the duplicate work that happens. And as a like reviewer, as a software developers at our FlytBase, we realized that we had to be much faster in terms of realization of what is code is being produced by agents, so that we can judge it way faster and give them feedback instead of relying like whole on them, because sometimes they go into the loop, they don't understand, and they result into duplicate work or messing up some work. So yeah, this is how we solve. Possibly might be there better approaches which we will explore going further.
So the last question is from the Rohan and Kunal. They both have the same question. I don't know how, but yes. So have you explored using formal specification or invariants that all agents must satisfy before merge?
There are few, as I said, like GitHub provide checks by default. So basically, your test pipelines internally for review as well. We have some sort of review guidelines which conductor allow you to provide your review draft, which can be triggered whenever you click on review. So it has some basic guidelines to be followed upon. First of all, basic like code review guidelines, and then basic R checks guidelines. Like let's say some core pieces being touched in. So what to look for that once the PR is being raised, and as it's being raised by different agents. So like if some other PR got merged, now we take a pull and then we have similar changes. Then what to look for, what to not look for. And this is something as a checks we have put in, but yeah.
So we do have another question from Naveen. So he is asking, while managing multiple repos, how do you manage multiple changes that are all Git controlled, and you need to get under the hood to understand what is going wrong? How do you handle so many Git changes done by multiple agents? Is there any summary window to get an overall flow view across multiple repos for a single project in a conductor?
A good question. So right now there is no single view. Whenever you enter into a workspace, like as I show you guys, like okay, I'll explain you. So in a conductor, whenever you are in a particular repo and in a particular workspace, then in a workspace on the right hand side you will get all the files that has been changed up as a high level overview. But if you are asking about multiple workspaces, single view at once, that is something which conductor does not provide it, and I doubt how much valuable it will be, because anyway you have to go and check changes to understand what has been changed and how has been changed, what is the quality of it. So yeah, so the answer is like conductor today don't have a single view across multiple changes, but it has a summary view whenever you enter into a single workspace.
Guys, if you still have any question, please feel free to unmute yourself or just say in the chat. Okay, we do have another question from Naveen. So even for one workspace, there will be so many Git changes. How do you manage it?
Yeah, as I showed you, like I'll reshare my screen so you'll understand it much better. So conductor gives you a Git summary of things that are, I hope the screen is visible.
Yes. No, it got stopped.
Okay, I'll reshare it.
Yes.
Give me a minute. So basically conductor provide you a Git changes summary. So how basically your changes, I'll pick something which is way smaller. This is very big change. So let's say these are like 33 files of change that is currently in the PR. So it gives you the high level changes that has been done in all the files. You can click it and you can directly view a change. Similarly, how you do in your VS Code Git, like Git extension package, and you can like mark it viewed so it will not appear again for your view, and a similar simple Git steps that you generally do. And as a summary, if you are talking, you are able to see the files that has been changed, file that has been already viewed, files that has been like modified and committed already. So basic Git functionality is something that conductor gives you off the shelf, similarly how any IDE gives. And when you change the workspace, you will see the different changes directly into that workspace. Now the previous workspace has 33 files, the current one has 4. So this is how it like shows the changes and how I review it.
So we do have a question again from the Saurabh. So he has asked, like when working on a multiple features in a single web app or API repo, how do you run the app simultaneously? Don't the port number conflict?
Yes, they do. So we had tried some solutions to get to that. When we run a front-end application primarily in React, so as we have some sort of port range because we have multiple applications, and in a single repo generally we run in a single repo, single application might be running or two applications might be running, so they'll have different ports. Whenever I want to run same application in two different work trees, so it chooses the port, like if the current port is busy that has been assigned, it chooses the next port to be run upon. So this is something for a front end we have solved, like general got solved by wait itself, so we don't need to put much. We just put a dynamic port to be allocated. For backend, yes, still we need to solve it, because in backend if you expose the port from the Docker compose, then it will conflict. But like if you don't want to be exposed on localhost, then just remove it from the Docker compose and it will not conflict to your machine port unless it is binded. So yeah, more solution can be explored, and of course community will bring something that we will be able to want to explore and move upon.